Hello, Squip Games. I'm IRDM, and this is Copper.
Hello, audience that IRDM keeps telling me about, but I've never actually seen you guys, so I don't know if you actually exist.
And we are here to tell you if you've played these games before.
But IRDM, there aren't any more late joins. Everyone left us play these games before.
Exactly. And some of you are never going to play these games again, so let's find out who they are. Although first, we must list this episode's amazing super voters in the order that they voted this time. Thick Ant, Shimmering Stars, Solarazu, Melon Slice, OG Frag, 6381, Cyan OSC 13858, Poppy Person, Average User 11, AA3229, J-Dude, PC36 Thorn, 64 Lou, Kpan 400, Just a Toad BB, Shernatos, Great Golden Goat, Luis number 69, Helios Axitro, Not Goatman, Jokingly Evil 56952, Raziki, Sick to Abu, Foxrish, H2 Oceanic, Imaginary Neon, Jimmy E128, Natural Splatnadian Enemy 1234568, Stealthy Septile, I Am Stonebone, Rarson, and Andrew 17426. Thanks to all of you for an excellent 35.03 VPR. Among the first to continue playing these games is a contestant who's been at 1 life since Squip 3. Before this episode, they had the 7th lowest living normalized rank, and until now, they'd never scored higher than 80%. It's a sizable stack of rats, with their acronym for USPS, unexpectedly sending plutonium. Surprise! I could not be happier with this round winner, and this is actually the first time that my personal favorite response also won the round, so congratulations. This is actually the entire reason I put you on my alumni predictions, is because I saw this in the response pool and knew it was going to do really well. In second, we have another response I really liked. KP said laser. Look at shiny! Ah! Emergency room. Despite their profile picture being a bird, it seems they have some cat DNA in them as well.
And in third place, perfecting our preeminent podium of prodigiously placing people with pets in their profile picture, the only person to earn a triple response prize this round is the Golden Goat, who said, "Know you're special, heart," which is in direct juxtaposition with KYS's original meaning.
Scooting on down, we have J-Dude, who said that LGBTQ stands for lasagna, garlic bread, tacos, quesadilla. And in fifth, we have I Pink Bunny, whose NASCAR acronym reads RIP. In seventh, Sodium Hydroxide Prizes with a meta response, commenting on how so many people's Squip DRPs have involved drugs. And rounding out the prize zone, Mount Grape says NASA is actually a frustrated rebuttal to conspiracy theorists. No aliens! Stop asking! Just missing out on the prize zone, Punished Chubby Emu says that TASER stands for Tickling Apparatus, soon entering restaurants. In 11th, a random contestant makes a very similar NASCAR joke to I Pink Bunny, but blissfully lets the driver get away with just retiring instead of dying. And in 14th, 78,000 Ants also makes a NASCAR joke, saying Neanderthals assembled speedways. Car around ring.
Fun fact, NASCAR was the only acronym that multiple people picked to survive in every response it was used in. And it was used by 3 different people. Wow!
In 15th, Vera Karas earns a DRP with the highest placing capture response, of which there were 6. Computer autopiloted Tesla. Children? Harmless. Accelerate! In 18th, my mom, who might I remind you has not watched any of these episodes, accidentally stumbles onto the drugs meta and says, "Dare! Drugs are risk-free and exciting." In 20th, the axolotl becomes, I believe, the first person to survive with a response entirely in another language. Thanks, cognates. And in 22nd, Marbles32 says FNAF stands for Facile Night Shift. Ah! Freddy! Average User 11 says ICBMs are impressive continental breakfast makers, turning the landscape into pancakes. And Series tells us ACAB stands for Assigned Cop at Birth. In 29th, Neo Geo sticks it to the man with an accurate acronym for CEO, managing to beat his front-running and quintuple-prizing brother by 1 spot. Chad submitted the only surviving PEMDAS response, saying it stands for Polynomials? Ew! Math's dumb and stupid! And with that, we're down to our last few safe spots. If you haven't been revealed yet, you should get real freaked out right about now, because only 7 of you are going to keep all your lives. Those people are Chicory Fiber, Springy Mint, Bobby B, 2016 BMW i8, Sick to Abu, Boy, and The Incident. Somehow surviving with a meta response for IRDM immaculately represents deranged meth heads. We may not have gotten a drugs response this round, but we certainly got several adjacent to it. Sadly, Leopard Sun places just outside the safety region this round, losing by only 0.09%. Look at this funny message she sent after the voting period closed. I wonder if voting would have helped her. We can't all be as clutch as Series, I suppose. Anyway, my Copper-tastic co-host will now read off some of the zestiest dying responses. Take it away, Copper.
In 40th, Faux Fox wrote, I love FF7, Furry Femboy 7. Excuse me? In 45th, PC36 wrote, MLM, Men Loving Me. In 49th, Dylan Morris Squared wrote, UTC. This acronym was already spelt wrong anyways. In 65th, Word Nerd Bird wrote, repeatedly answering drugs. Activates rage. In 70th, I'll be using the username Goobry wrote, Jason? That means Jay, my man. In 71st, Natalie wrote, Guh, Iraf? It's foolish. In 72nd, Cynthia wrote, Can anyone please trick Callous Heaven's Angels? In 74th, Lucky wrote, Illy bidkati bikey dulmb. I love yogurt, but I don't know how to tell yogurt because I know yogurt don't love me back. And in 75th, Sandstorm wrote, A.
Thanks, Copper. Sadly, we must say goodbye to 11 valiant contestants. Dylan Morris Squared, Crazy Blues, An Artichoke, Lucky, Shimmering Stars, Natalie, Stefan12387, Margaret93 Hi Irene, Sadayu, and Neo Selkit. I have to give my commendations to Crazy Blues for being the final survivor out of all the people who late joined in round 3. Your run was certainly impressive given the massive penalty you started out with. Also, with the deaths of Crazy Blues and Dylan Morris Squared, only 2 people who late joined in Squip at all remain. Marbles32 and Crazy Dude, who both joined in round 2 and have now both successfully nullified their 1-life penalties by surviving to life decay with 2 lives. Congratulations! Also, related to the death of Dylan Morris Squared, only 5 Michaels remain. After factoring in DNPs, 65 contestants remain, consisting of 41 2-lifers and 24 1-lifers. Just a reminder that the second step of life decay down to 1 life will occur after 50 or fewer contestants remain, so watch out for that. Oh, and as a reward for reaching the end of life decay, I'm going to be allowing confessionals now. But there are still 65 of you, and I don't want them to take a million years to read, so I'm limiting you to 20 characters each. Everything after that will get cut off. So, moving on to our Squipistics. First off, we came awfully close to finally having a new NR frontrunner, but Vera Karas came just a few percentage points short, so Chad gets to retain his crown for another episode. Although given the comparative size of the gap between second and third, I'd say we've got co-frontrunners right now, the Super Squipper and the Big Squipper. Looking through the rest of the top 20, we'll see some familiar faces as well as some new faces, including late joiner Marbles32 and former one-lifer J-Dude. And we'll also see that everyone is blue. After a single round of diversity, we're back to a monochromatic top 20. How sad. If we scoot down a page, we'll see that the highest one-lifer is now Word Nerd Bird, who got hit with 2 tough losses in a row after a very impressive streak. We also see that H2 Ocean incredibly retains their Christmas streak of dying and prizing for another episode, and that we somehow have more DNPs in the top 20 than we do in the next 20. Another page lower, we see our highest dead contestant, poor Neo Selkit, who got hit with the brutal CCC ending after having their NR consistently go down every single round. And on the final page of living contestants, we can see our lowest 2-lifer, the incredible sizable stack of rats, who literally just won the round and is still in the bottom 6. We also see our lowest living contestant, which finally isn't a comical outlier that we have to scroll 3 pages to find, Solar Azu. And our last normalized rank statistic, Flatliners. With the life losses of Swa and Sandstorm, we're left with our final 3, Sebastian Foxington, the Axolotl, and Series. Who will win the mid-offs? Find out next time on Squip. Moving on to response-specific statistics, our most controversial response was Dylan Morris Squared's technical violating response about UTC. The most controversial surviving response, just 2 spots lower, was Kale Kvetch's ambitious double acronym, and the most controversial prizing response, another 2 spots lower, was I Pink Bunny's mockery of poor Dale Earnhardt Jr. For shame, for shame. On the other end, we got a leaderboard sandwich in our top 5 least controversial responses, with both the round winner and the last placer making an appearance. And swapping over to response length, we of course find our delightful one-worder, but just 2 spots higher, we've got a prizer. the Golden Goat made the podium while being the third shortest response of the round. Maybe brevity is the soul of wit. And since this is an acronym round, character count isn't exactly representative of your acronym's length, so here's a chart showing the average and maximum performance of each acronym length. It seems having a 5 or 6 word acronym was the best strategy on average. Too few words and you didn't have much to work with, but too many words and you lost some of your punch. Just for fun, here's the best performer from each acronym length. And this is almost becoming pointless to list since basically every voter is a super voter at this point, but our most voted responses came from Neo, Selkit, and Gubri, and we had a 14-way tie for the least voted response. One thing that has remained interesting, though, is consistency. With the end of Chad's prize streak, the Axolotl snags the title of Consistency Master, having placed between 60 and 80% for 6 rounds straight. Viracaris follows closely behind with a range of 78 to 100, and Stealthy Septile is in third with a range of 69 to 91. Then we've got the 2 other flatliners, surprise appearances from Neo Geo and Amberland, and then Chad, as well as our former consistency outlier, a random contestant, who is threatening his own consistency by almost prizing this round. On the inconsistency side, we've got, oh my goodness, they actually did it. Cocoa Quartz continued their unconsciousness streak and finished Squip with a final standard deviation of 49.1%, which is almost certainly unbeatable this season. Absolutely incredible work. If we switch to only those who have never DNP'd, we find that Cow Heaven is still in the lead, and they've increased their lead by 3%, while still remaining at the highest possible life count. Very impressive. Quick segue into the family section. My mom is sort of becoming the Pokey Soda of the family, and has surpassed all expectations, and now has the maximum number of lives, which is crazy. And 2 more new statistics. First, score versus response time. I couldn't figure out how to get the histogram to work properly, so you get a line graph of each score instead. Incredibly, the sizable stack of rats won the round after responding just 2 hours after the prompt was posted. Absolute ledge behavior. And to make the data a little more readable, here's your average score depending on which day of the responding period you submitted on. Clearly this means that you should submit when there are 48 hours remaining, but if you submit with 72 hours remaining, you die immediately and go to hell before you die. Actually, maybe that graph is skewed by a low sample size. If you take a look at how many people submitted on each of those days, Oh, that's procrastination. That's procrastination in my Squip. There's like 15 more people in the purple column. I just couldn't fit them all in one screenshot. Anyway, in addition to those numbers, I've got one more new stat for you. Season simulations. Aeroasteroid wrote some code that takes the current season stats and simulates a bunch of potential futures to see who's most likely to survive certain thresholds. I initially ran like 100,000 simulations and it looked like this, but then Gubri showed me the Zen Garden at the top of Machu Picchu, and I understood that knowing too much is a sin, and if God wants us to know things, he'll reveal them to us, so I ran it with 4 simulations, and we're going to look at that instead. As you can see, the spirits have revealed that Melon Slice wins in half of all possible Squip universes, so if I flip my Squip coin and it lands on Tails, I'm canceling the season and giving Melon Slice the win. Also, amusingly, Chad makes it to the final 5 in 75% of all universes, but can never win. Swa only made it to alumni in 1 universe, but apparently if they make alumni, they're guaranteed to win the entire season, so that's kind of awesome. And the Axolotl is somehow guaranteed to place between 10th and 6th. Down here in the nether regions, we can also see that 5 contestants are unfortunately fated to die immediately in every possible scenario, and none of them are even the player with the lowest NR. My condolences. Okay, here's the new prompt. How do you explain this 8-month gap in your resume? Your word limit is back to 20. Your response is due
Saturday, August 15th
at 6:16 p.m. EDT, and your technical is that you cannot use the word praesiodimium. Here are your example responses. Thanks to Lemon Venom and Jokingly Evil for the usual things, thanks to Plasmic Trojan for writing the example responses, and thanks to my supervisor at work because he found my YouTube channel and I don't want to get fired.